Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, bringing to you another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And today I wanted to discuss and share my thoughts with all of you about what took place on the September 16th, 2024 edition of Raw, involving Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and why I feel the time is now for Xavier Woods to turn heel. So, as everyone knows already, the New Day have been together for well over a decade, even after Big E was forced to retire due to a serious neck injury. The New Day have always continued as a duo. They initially started out as a very annoying heel act, but over the course of time, their annoying antics started to make fans laugh more, and eventually the fans embraced them as a beloved trio. But as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, it looks like they're starting to tease possibly a breakup with the New Day. And as we saw on this week's edition of Raw, the New Day was screwed out of the tag team titles due to interference from the Judgment Day, and we saw Xavier Woods pretty much blow up on Kofi Kingston. He said, "I've had enough of this. It's time for a change." And Xavier Woods was pretty much teasing that this could be it. This could be the end. Now, the reason why I feel that it's time for Xavier Woods to turn heel, because if you look at the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E, they've all had huge success on their own. And Xavier Woods, a very talented guy, he's kind of more or less been an afterthought as far as the New Day is concerned. He's kind of been in the background. No one's really talking about him much. And I think, this would be the perfect time to pull the trigger because, number one, nobody would see it coming. And this kind of reminds me of The Shield a decade earlier. Everyone was talking about Roman Reigns and even Dean Ambrose to a point, and Seth Rollins, even though he was the one that was pretty much the glue that kept it all together, nobody really took any notice of him. So when he did betray the Shield, it was a shocking moment. They could do this with the New Day if they play their cards right and they book it properly. This could be a real shocking moment. And I think by having Xavier Woods be the one to pull the trigger and break up the New Day by turning on them, this could give him not only bucket loads of heat, but this could also freshen up his character because he's kind of been like, the prankster of the New Day. All of them have been, but he's kind of like more or less been the prankster. And I feel that, he needs to freshen his character up because everyone loves the New Day. I think the New Day, are funny, but just like in wrestling, all things run their course and all good things do indeed come to an end. And I feel the time is now for Xavier Woods to walk away from the New Day, turn heel, and go out on his own. He's got the skills. He's very talented, as I said earlier. And I think this is the way to go. And I think what should happen is the New Day get a rematch for the tag team titles against Finn Balor and JD McDonough at Bad Blood. They lose, and it looks like, Xavier Woods is going to console Kofi Kingston, and then bang, he turns on him in a violent attack. I think that's the way to do it. Set up the betrayal at Bad Blood. That's the way to go. And I think, personally, it can work. Xavier Woods has shown he can be a heel, although that was more of a goofy heel. I think this time round, by turning him heel, they could go in a much more serious direction for him. And I personally think this could work. And the promo he could deliver on the post Bad Blood show would be gold. He could come out and say, "I've been carrying the New Day for over a decade. Everyone's talking about Big E and Kofi Kingston, but yet I was the real guy who was carrying these guys for over a decade." Something like that. You know how wrestling works. Something as good as that. And I think personally it could work, but we'll see really. But that's how I would book it. have a rematch at Bad Blood, they lose, and then Xavier Woods just snaps and just destroys Kofi Kingston, and then they could begin a feud after. And maybe if you really want to get personal, bring Big E out to try and bring these guys back on the same page and try and get Xavier Woods to see sense, and he could turn on him as well. I personally think that's the way to go, and I think it could work. So, anyway, that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What do you guys think? Do you think it's time for Xavier Woods to turn heel? Do you think the betrayal should happen at Bad Blood? And also, how do you think you would book an Xavier Woods heel turn? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.